Chapter 6, load. Start 6, load. Okay, so in the last one, we have left the lodge. We've headed to the Garnet Mines, where we believe Evan is has been kidnapped and is being held against his will inside the caves, in order to get a signature. By the way, spoilers, absurd spoilers. Being held against his will to, well, for his will, his signature on his will, even. To basically sign over everything, the lodge, etc., to Nessa, by Nessa as well. So, some other questions have come into here, including our buddy from Antwerp there, Albert. May not, in fact, be Albert at all, is perhaps... I don't know. I think the word was a German spy, something like that. That's an interesting development. That guy is MIA. We've also left Kimmy sleeping in the lodge. Hopefully she's okay. And yeah, that's kind of where we are. So we've just arrived here. We have done nothing quite yet, but we've basically just gone through the title screen for chapter 6. So Jack is trying to dig our way out here. We do have what looks to be something like an accordion or something over here. This looks like an explosive, kind of like, you push the thing down and it blows up. Love this background. Very cool. Can we walk anywhere else? Is it just this room? Okay. Okay, cool. So this is very straightforward. Interesting. A single room puzzle in this game. I'm excited. Okay. Well, let's first look. The abandoned Garnet Mine looks stark and desolate in the moonlight. Debris and forgotten equipment litter the area. There is rubble completely obstructing the entrance. The rubble does look fresh. It could be that Nessa and Corvus did enter the mine from here. Jack is here. Okay. Look at equipment. Piles of rubble around the entrance. You can see an old discarded plunger detonator amongst the debris. There's a reel of wire near some bushes. Okay, it's wire. Does this not look like a little accordion, like a little squeezy box? So we'll get wire. You take the reel of wire. I wonder if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble. Disclaimer: the developer of this game assumes no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in any processes depicted, particularly dangerous ones involving explosives. Do not attempt anything in this game in real life. That is hysterical. Good to know. I was considering it for a minute, and then, yeah, now we're out. We're out. Good disclaimer. Mentioning this, actually, Summer, you mentioned that you didn't see the last VOD. I'll try to clip these, but there were a couple of bugs that I found on my last session, and I was meaning to send them your way. But I've forgotten. I got busy. Yeah, so it is take detonator. How do you spell detonator? Get box. Call box. What's the real word for this here? Look equipment. Plunger detonator. Detonator, of course. Sometimes I just struggle. Take the plunger detonator. I wonder if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble. And I now have a plunger detonator, wire, blasting cap, and a stick of dynamite. I wonder if I could rip this up to blast the mine entrance open. I wonder. Climb tree. It's a good tree climbing tree. The soldier pine has a rough, scratchy bark covered in sticky resin and offers no handy branches to aid climbing. There's no need to climb it anyway. I know where I need to go and what I have to do. Is that all it is? Just need to get inside the mine. Okay. Thanks, Jack. I'm trying to dig out this rubble and not break this old shovel in two while I do it. If you can figure out a better way, I'm all ears. Otherwise, come help me dig. Help dig. Helping Jack dig with your bare hands wouldn't be very effective. Is there anything else out here? Okay, so I think we've gotten everything. On closer inspection, you conclude that the rocks and rubble are native to this area and are biotite schist. Biotite schist is a kind of mica schist. Schist is a type of metamorphic rock. I'm not surprised that there are giant garnet mines here. This type of schist is known to contain garnets. This will be a nice detail for my mineralogical report. Perfect. Schist. Is it just that one, I guess? We look at the tree. Look at the tree. A solitary soldier pine stands guard at the abandoned mine entrance. Thing with Jack there. Jack is trying his best to use the old shovel to clear the debris from the mine entrance. Okay. So I think we've got all the things, right? Wires in still pretty good. It's still in pretty good condition. It should work. The plunger detonator has been weathered for many years outside. The wood is desiccated and splitting. And the screws are rusting. Doesn't sound good. It's been weathered by the elements. Looks very worn, but still might work. There's only one way to find out. A real wire looks pretty good considering it's been outside for years. Possible I could set up an explosive to clear this rubble. If I insert a blasting cap into the dynamite, then the wire into the blasting cap. Cut the wire and insert that end into the plunger detonator. It could work. You flush with pride, realizing that your childhood curiosity in your father's job as a dynamiter for a construction company has suddenly become useful. Dad would be proud. Cool. Scroll through my whole inventory? Sure. I'll do it kind of slow here. A lot of stuff in here. I don't know what we would cut the wire with. Ice pick. Trowel. Blue mug. Forever, yeah, forever wet. Dig with trowel. Wonder if we can just straight up dig us out. This trowel is all I've got, so let's make the best of it. You and Jack laboriously dig for many long hours. Eventually, the two of you manage to clear away a small hole that leads into the mine. Jack has gingerly lowered himself in the hard rocks. He winces in pain. I'm finished, Nancy. I've hurt my back pretty bad. Can't dig anymore. We should sit tight and wait for the others to get back here. Evan's in danger. We can't wait. I can fit through this opening. I'm going in after Evan. Oh, interesting. So let me just save this as a like. I feel like we want to use the explosive, right? Unless the explosive is maybe a death, which would be cool too. Missed something important in chapter 5. It doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me at all. It'll happen. Dig. So I'm curious if instead of doing it this way, what happens if I load here? Get wire. Get the detonator. I wonder what the difference might be. I guess we probably want Jack with us, right? Wire. Put wire in detonator. Need to cut the wire from the reel. Cut wire. Need to insert the blasting cap in. Blasting cap into the detonator? They're inserted into the dynamite. We have the dynamite, right? We picked it up? Yeah, we have a dynamite, okay. Put blasting cap in dynamite. Carefully insert the blasting cap into the dynamite. Put wire into dynamite. I need to insert the blasting cap in the dynamite, then the wire into the blasting cap. Put wire in blasting cap. This is how good my memory is right now. I deserve that, Galaxy. I do. You stick the end of the wire into the blasting cap, which has been inserted into the dynamite. Cut wire. I'm all set. I just need to cut the wire from the reel and insert the cut end into the plunger detonator. You don't have wire cutters right now, and you don't see any here. I wonder where I could get a pair of wire cutters. I'm so close. Ask Jack for shovel. Can we do it with the shovel? Is there anything relatively sharp that we might be able to do this with? I don't know about no shovel. Plunger detonator has been weathered from years outside. Wood is desiccated and splitting. The screws are rusting. I wonder... Yeah, these we already know about. We use like cut wire with ice pick. That reel of wire looks like detonating cord. It's been out here for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's faulty, probably junk. The wire would be inserted into a blasting cap that would be inserted into a bundle of dynamite. The other end would be cut and inserted into a plunger detonator, and then you push down the plunger and then kaboom, from a safe distance, ideally. Okay, well that part I've got. Welcome in, Raiders. Rant.over. Hello again. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you in here. Rant-a-lot army raid. I love it. Welcome in, everybody. Sammy is not drowning. Montern, Tyler Kale, K Cosmic, Pixie Lemonade. Of course, Rant.over. Thank you for the raid. Just Alan, welcome. Silfrin. Good names. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, you're joining us for some Crimson Diamond. We've just begun chapter 6 in this, and we are having a good old time. I hope you had a great stream. Thank you very much for raiding over, and nice to see you all. Yeah, Crimson Diamond, going well. We just switched over. I was playing some Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis earlier, and that was a good time. And now we find ourselves with a little bit of Crimson Diamond. Trying to figure out how to get this, and this, yeah, please refrain from backseating, but I'm trying to get this this doorway open. I found one way to do it, but I don't think it's the correct way. So we're gonna try and come up with something here. So it should be good. All right, no worries, Montern. Thank you for raiding over. Have a good rest of your night or day. I don't know where you are. Wire is currently installed into the blasting cap that is inserted into the stick of dynamite. Yeah, and that is true. This is a brand new game. This came out, golly, 2 weeks ago? I think 2 weeks ago. This is made on Adventure Game Studio by Julia Minamata. Yeah, this game just came out. Although, yeah, I think intentionally, obviously, like used in this EGA style to sort of evoke like Laura Bow and the like. Such a cool game. Look at Shovel. Can we look at his shovel? Shovel looks pretty worn, but sturdy enough for Jack to be able to use it. Hope it holds enough together enough for us to get in the Garnet Mine. Shovel. Let's have to examine it. Ask for shovel. Or just ask about shovel? I'm using this old shovel. If you got anything else that you can help dig, I'd really appreciate it. My back is already starting to hurt. Wonder if I can figure out a faster way to clear this rubble. I worry that we didn't pick something up earlier in the game that we needed. And there are no other rooms, it looks like. It looks like it's just here. The abandoned Garnet Mine looks stark and desolate in the moonlight. Debris and forgotten equipment litter the area. There is rubble completely obstructing the entrance. Does look fresh. Jack is here. You have everything you need for the explodey strat. Okay. Interesting. Thank you, Lemming. I had a feeling. I felt like it would be... Like, this game hasn't been necessarily cruel in that, like, you know, we're like, it's not necessarily a Sierra game despite how it looks. But you never know. It still has time. I have a bullet. Some kind of bullet. Yeah, there are things that you can miss, right? Since it's like, you know, for anybody who hasn't seen this game before, it's like it's a mystery game, and a lot of it is just like trying to collect info, like listen into conversations, inspect things, and at a certain point in the game, there are things that are sort of happening at the same time. So you have to kind of be careful about the ordering in which you do things, because, you know, you could choose to go to one spot and you might end up missing something else. And I definitely have not played this perfectly myself. I've done a really good job, I hope, to try to get most of everything. But it's super, super fun. I honestly can't recommend this game more. It's really, really fun, and especially if there are folks out there that are like, oh, this brings back memories of something, you know, Commodore 64. Maybe if some other folks have played some old text parser games, this is like right out of that alley, right? So good. Metal button looks pretty new. Shiny metal button. Now, can we use button on wire? Let me look at the wire one more time here. Cut wire. What does she say? Don't have the wire cutters. Where can I get a pair of wire cutters? Don't know anything about that. I do wonder, does Jack need to be part of this somehow? Sometimes called a blasting machine. Once you get a bunch of dynamite with the blasting cap inserted into it, you attach a cap to the plunger with a special wire called the detonating cord. Pushing down on the plunger creates an electric charge that's sent through the wire to the dynamite. Blasting cap gets set off, which in turn sets off the dynamite. Paul was a miner. He dealt with all that stuff all the time. Ate his custard pie if yeah, exactly. Is that King's Quest 6? That's the one where it's like, oh, you ate all the food that, well, actually, I guess it's in many King's Quest games the more I think about it now. I wonder, I'm not missing anything down here, right? Like we've looked at the rocks. Oh yeah, I guess we didn't do that on this playthrough. Look at the wood. Okay. Anything else on the ground? The rubble on the ground near the Garnet Mine entrance looks like it was recently created. Jack may be right. Nessa and Corvus could have taken Evan into the mine here. The ground here is too hard for any shoe prints to be made. That's too bad. Finding either Nessa's or Corvus's shoe prints would have indicated their presence here. I can't lose hope. Is it like a lake behind us? Look at water. The surface of the distant lake shimmers in the moonlight. Climb rock. Climb rocks. This glacial erratic is identical, of identical composition to the one near the lodge. Quartz and feldspar. Nothing noteworthy. All right, no worries. Thank you very much for the raid. That's very kind of you. Nice to see you again. Have a great rest of your night. What do we call this? Opening? Entrance? You don't see that right now. Look at the mine. Take rock? You chip a rubble sample out of the rocky exterior of the mine. Rubble sample, look. A rubble sample obtained from the outside of the mine. Wow, I can see why Crimson was such a booming mining town. These rocks are full of garnets. In this instance, the garnets aren't gem quality and are incorporated into the sample, but maybe inside the mine might be a different story. The rubble sample you obtained outside the mine contains tiny white crystals and large red patches of minerals incorporated into the rock. Surrounding rock is a biotite schist, a type of mica schist. Schist is a type of metamorphic rock. Not surprised that there are garnet mines here. This type of we've gone through this. Yes. Okay. Is there anything special with this? Yeah. Okay. We've already gotten through that. I'm just trying to think, how the heck do we cut this wire? Is the wire not even an item on here anymore, huh? Put wire in. What happens with this? You cut the wire from the reel. Wrap wire around tree. The tree feels like... It's just like, I don't know, seems obvious for some. It's like very eye-catching. Examine Jack's glasses. Put wire on tree. how you keep that. Cut wire with trowel. Cut wire with brings us here. Wonder where I could get a pair of wire cutters. Ask Jack about wire cutters. Probably the most obvious answer. Would you happen to have any wire cutters, Jack? I do, actually. Oh, may I borrow those? Sure. Well, I ask and you shall receive, I suppose. Talk about over-complicating something. That's hysterical. How convenient. Okay. Cut wire with wire cutters. Yeah, same thing, Lemming. I was like, we have to like wrap it around the tree to get enough tension. And I remember looking at the trowel. It has little like divots in the side, so we probably can use it as a saw or something. Like I was literally starting to like, you know, you go crazy adventure game mode. I've seen some moon logic, perhaps too much. But here we go. Using the wire cutters, you snip the wire from the reel. Put wire in detonator. You insert the wire into the plunger detonator. The explosive is rigged. It's time to set it off. Note's been added to the notebook. Set off the rigged explosive. Ask Jack to step back. Don't know anything about that. Put dynamite on mine. Entrance. Dynamite can seem pretty scary, but unless you're extremely incautious, it's unlikely it would explode on its own. Blasting caps are needed to set off the dynamite. Have to stick them right in the end. Not to mention, a charge from a plunger detonator needs to be sent to the cap. Yes, we've built this thing. Ah, right. That's funny. All right, let me save really quick because there's got to be a death here, right? We need to probably collect the death. Do. We need more saves. I don't know if there can be more saves. Boom. Save. They fall into the water. That is excellent. Did you see the splash in the back? That was so good. Ah, the shoes also smoking. Maybe step back a wee bit. I want to watch that one more time, sorry. That is so funny. Yeah. Now look at the back in the water here. Bloop, bloop. Oh, that's good. That's so funny. Fun fact, you can also just type boom. Oh, really? That's funny. Just like the save, I guess. Oh, yeah, you're right. What was the other achievement that I got there? Okay, so you get an achievement for that death, and then you also get one for getting Jack, too. That's really funny. It's called collateral damage. That's very funny. Nice. Okay. What is the word that they need me to do? Put dynamite on rubble. Jack, I'm ready to set the explosive charge. Got it, Nancy. Give me a second. Go! Gotta put the fingers in the ears. You carefully place the rigged dynamite close to the rubble. Okay, we're all set. Move detonator behind rock. Now that we've watched that death enough times, I think we need to hide here. I've taken the plunger and placed it out of harm's way. Fortunately, the wire is long enough. Okay. Boom. Here goes nothing. That was a bit anticlimactic. Well, it was only one stick of dynamite after all. Yeah, one stick can only do so much. I guess talk to Jack. It's your move, Nancy. Oh, it's me. Let's look at the rubble. Upon closer inspection, you conclude that the rocks and rubble... Oh, we've already been through this. I don't need to know about that. Look at hole. There's now a small hole in the rubble. I think I might be able to enter the garnet mine this way. Unfortunately, Jack won't fit. Maybe he can follow later. I'm just gonna do another save here just in case. I think there's obviously going to be a different thing that happens if we have him versus we don't have him, etc., etc. Then just go ahead, and this is going to be mine, enter. Can we, like, trowel on rubble? Dig with trowel. There's no need to expend energy digging. I've come up with an explosive shortcut. Enter mine, I guess. Alright, I can fit through this opening. Nancy, this is really dangerous. Let's widen this hole some more so I can go too. You keep working on the rubble and you follow when you can. Okay, Nancy, you're the boss. You begin carefully, you hear? I will, I promise. I was just trying to use the... Wait, before you go, it's going to be dark as night in there. Darker even. Take this lantern. I wonder if it's a colossal cave inside. Jack lights the lantern and hands it to you. I've got another one, don't you worry. Heh, you're not the only one with big pockets. Good luck, kiddo. Thanks, Jack. You squeeze through the small hole in the rubble and enter the mine. Oh, wow. Seeing the lantern's light reflected brilliantly on the thousands of red crystals embedded in the walls, you're suddenly reminded of why you traveled to Crimson in the first place. If the situation wasn't so dire, you'd be dazzled by this cave of natural wonders. Instead, red gleams look like blood is beating on every surface, just waiting to fall. You shiver. Toronto feels like it's 1,000,000 kilometers and 1,000,000 years away. Oh dear, it's so dark in here. I need to figure out which way Nessa and Corvus have taken Mr. Richards, if indeed they came this way at all. Okay, sorry, I'm doing a ton of saves. You have to bear with me whilst I do many saves. This is in mine. The only thing I want to check really fast with a load is ask Jack to dig. It seems like I can't. Okay, maybe we can't. I was trying to think if there's a way maybe to get Jack to join us, but okay. This looks like an amazing looking room. The Garnet's mine's interior is much cooler than the outside. The air feels stale and still. You're grateful for the lantern's light, though the warm glow quickly gets swallowed by the darkness. The opening you created to enter the mine seems to float in the air like a portal to another world. You can see a good deal of the mining machinery that was left behind years ago, as well as a discarded shovel. I think this machine is some sort of crusher. You notice a particularly large red crystal embedded in the nearby boulder. Ooh, gorgeous. Okay, I see that there. Is there anything else different here? Oh, wow. Interior of the mine is dark. As dark as night. Darker, actually. The lantern light doesn't extend very far, but the rocks nearest to you are absolutely chock full of large red crystals and smaller white ones. The path slopes downwards and is covered in dust and loose rocks. Achoo! Casting your eyes around, most of the nearby rocks have deeply embedded crystals that you might damage with your rudimentary tools. I should take a look around and find a more suitable candidate. Okay, so it's probably the one that we saw. Use your lucky loop to examine some of the rocks around you. This mine is amazingly rich with garnets, and they're quite good quality. It's a bit of a shame they were ground down, though I suppose they're more useful as abrasives than jewelry or museum specimens. Peering out of the small hole and onto the moon-bleached abandoned mining site makes you feel like you're gazing upon an alien planet from a porthole of a spaceship. You don't see any movement outside and you can't see Jack. Maybe he's taking a rest, or maybe he's gone to get help. Leave mine. Although the hairs on the back of your neck are standing on end, you resolve to continue onwards. I can't leave yet. Mr. Richard needs my help. Look crusher. You see the rim of a large wheel. You see the rim of a large wheel and some inclinations of a large piece of heavy machinery. You see a large heavy-duty machine composed of 2 large flywheels and a hopper. It's a bucket. Bucket. You think you can see a metal bucket under a large piece of machinery. Oh, there you go. This is tricky because you can only see so much. It's almost like you're walking into a different room every time you move around. The metal bucket has been placed under the machine, apparently to catch the results of its processing. Look inside bucket. You look inside the metal bucket. It's 1/3 full of coarsely ground garnets, smaller than gravel but larger than sand. When industrial abrasives are sold, they're ground finer than this. This is the first stage of grinding. An impact crusher would be used to grind these coarse garnets even finer than this. Take garnets. You take some of the coarsely ground garnets out of the bucket and into your pocket. Can we just take the whole bucket? Handy as buckets are, it's a bit too big even for your capacious pockets. You operate crusher. That doesn't seem to work. Look at the wheel. The flywheels are covered with dust. It's clear they haven't been spun in many years. Anything else here? Appear to operate the internal mechanism of the machine. Oh, this is an awesome looking room. Old shovel stuck deep in the ground. Looks like it was used to feed garnets into the hopper to be coarsely crushed. Take shovel. Now that you're inside the mine, there's no need for the shovel. Too bad, I could have used this when helping Jack clear the rubble outside. Anything else? Looked at the bucket and the shovel. Floor underneath the machine's littered with discarded rocks. A jaw crusher, to be exact. Take rocks. If you'd like to obtain a sample from a suitable source, try walking closer to it first. Okay, I assume that I need to take this one. Ooh, geez, there's a big room. Look rock. Particular boulder near one of the leaning wooden support beams looks like it might be a good candidate for a sample. Wow, look at the size of that red crystal. E-rock. The boulder is chock full of red and white crystals, including a spectacular red crystal. I'm not surprised Crimson was established as a mining town. Take sample. You chip a particularly lovely crystal sample out of the rock. Alright, let's have a look, shall we? just had a weird thought. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to save there. That's fine. Let me just really quick do one fast thing here. Okay, there's nothing that even comes up for that there. I was just curious if maybe, I know it said it hadn't been used in a long time, but maybe, you know, more evidence, as it were. All right, all good. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that we're looking. What's this one? Loose rocks and dust looks like they easily shift and slide underfoot. Could Nessa and Corvus have taken Mr. Richards down this way? I hope not. From what you can see in the lantern's light machine, yep. These are all things that we got on the last one. Take, well, E-bucket. What does this take? Garnets? Shovel we can't take, right? There's our sample. It's the Crusher, king of the mine. Boom. Note has been added to the notebook, which is crystal sample taken from mine interior. You are now well into the mine and getting a sense of the size of this room. You feel a slight draft coming from the east. Corvus, Nessa, and Mr. Richards may have gone this way, but I can't say for sure. And I really shouldn't go wandering off until I have some indication of where I should go. Looks like there's 2 exits here. Path downwards into the darkness as well as to the east. Which way could they have gone? If they even came this way at all. Not to be optimistic, I will find Mr. Richards. The floor of the mine is covered in countless shoe print impressions that are leading in multiple directions. They're preserved in a thick layer of dust. Most of these have been made decades ago by the miners who used to work here. It's an odd feeling to see these shoe prints. It's almost like looking back into the past. Anything else notable? That's that. Okay. Well, I guess we just need to figure out where to go here. Call for pizza. I was just trying to see if we could maybe yell for Jack or something. Alright, while the mine interior sample is pocked with many lovely crystals, the most prominent is large and red. A healthy sized garnet, most likely. I think it's even gem quality. It's a real pity that this mine produced industrial abrasives only. It's too pretty to pulverize. The crystal sample you took from the mine's interior is truly spectacular. There are some amazing red and colorless crystal formations. Stunning. The crystal sample you took from the mine's interior is truly spectacular. Oh, did we just get into a loop? We're good. All right, is there anything else to... Okay, there's another way over here. The floor of the garnet mine is covered in dust and rock particles. That plus the lack of wind and weather has kept dozens of sets of shoe prints looking as fresh as the day they were made. The shoe prints still look very clear, but are covered in dust like everything else. Most of the shoe prints. Examine shoe prints. Aha! Here are some pointy-toed size 14 men's dress shoe prints and impressions made by size 8 women's shoes and size 12 men's boots. I recognize this tread pattern from Mr. Richards' other boots. There are 3 sets of shoe prints, the freshest after all. Now I need to track these shoe prints and discover where they went next. They don't lead up here. I don't have time to wander around aimlessly. They don't? They aren't up here? Okay. The fresh shoe prints head east, deeper into the mine. Nothing but dusty miner's shoe prints down the southern path. Cool. Okay, so we know where to go. Okay, yeah, and you're right. I should use the plate. Streak plate on garnet. What's the word I'm trying to say? I can't use the word use. What is combine? Well, so I can't use the word use, and I would want to say use this with that, but you don't use that. Rub, thank you. Rub garnet on plate. Rubbing that on the streak plate wouldn't reveal much. Really? Rub mine sample on plate. I guess we don't know for sure. Oh. Okay. I guess that's that. I guess crystal sample? That's what it is, not mine sample. Rub crystal sample on plate. Carefully rub the colorless specimens embedded in the boulder sample on a streak plate one by one. Some of these specimens streak white, which is expected of garnets. But some of these specimens aren't streaking the plate at all. Oops. While performing your streak test and holding the lantern at the same time, you fumble and your hand slips. You draw the sample forcefully across your porcelain plate, right on the most prominent red crystal specimen. The large red crystal was actually making it awkward for you to streak test the colorless specimens. Nothing? No streak? Could these be rubies? They don't look quite right. These might not be garnets. The red crystal from the miner's interior didn't streak my porcelain plate, so it's not a garnet. Maybe a ruby? You suspiciously eye the large red crystal embedded in the mine interior sample, which didn't leave any streak on your streak plate. It winks back at you with adamantine luster. Rubs crystal sample on ruby. You carefully rub all the specimens present and the crystal sample on Nessa's ruby brooch. I guess, you know, she could shove it, right? Especially the large red crystal. I suppose this could be a ruby, and rubies wouldn't scratch another Eek! You completely forgot to be careful with Nessa's ruby brooch. There's now a large, deep scratch along with the lighter, more superficial marks. Uh-oh. Oh, that was much too easy to do. But this crystal is red, not a garnet or a ruby. Oh gee, look at the size of it. Red diamonds? Unheard of until now. Of course, I'll need to take these back to the museum for more testing to be sure, but this looks very promising. Okay, let's make a save there, eh? Running out of places to save. Would you say it's a crimson diamond? Diamond without a D. Okay, so we know that it's this way. Oh, there's another path here. Jesus, there's a bunch of paths. E. Shoe prints. I guess that's kind of east as well, isn't it? But it's definitely this one, I think. Now that you know that you can use the ruby as a streak plate. I mean, is there anything that we don't know? Gee, I'm glad I was able to track Nessa and Corvus down this path. I hope I can find Mr. Richards before it's too late. What was that? Despite the terrifying rumbles and shudders surrounding you, you forge onwards. How Evan was brutally murdered while Nancy spent an hour doing mineralogy. Just as you reach this firelit cavern, your lantern goes out. Oh no, the lantern's out of oil. There's no turning back now. Sign your will, Evan. Sign my fake will, you mean? If you're so smart, why didn't you just forge Pa's will? And you wouldn't have had to come up with this dumb scheme. If you were so smart, you'd know that Pa's lawyer is still alive. He'd pipe up pretty quick if an actual will from his client came out of nowhere. But this is a perfectly suitable backup plan. It's much easier to forge your will. If you do as you're told, I'll let you die quickly. Oh dear. Otherwise, you'll starve to death in the dark. We'll forge your signature anyway. Nancy's on to you. You won't get away with this. We'll see about that. How does he know that Nancy's on to her? I have to rescue Mr. Richards. My first order of business is to distract Corvus. Let me just have a really quick look at my lantern unlit, my inventory here. I want to make sure that I haven't missed any other bits. Like, we've looked at these, right? Granite. Have we not done these yet? Can we rub samples on plate? River sample. Have I done these? As hardness of 6, 7, right. What other ones? We have river, cliff, glacier. Bit too awkward. And then the other one is what was it called? It's the one from the boulder. What, cliff sample? No. Jeez, memory is terrible. Glacial sample, rub. Glacial sample on plate. No streak is produced. Cool. All right, we're good. I didn't know if that was a missing piece. All right, let's look. You've arrived at an open, cavernous area in the mine. The path descends down to a natural platform. It appears that the cave-ins have been rocking the mine, have created some deep chasms. An abundance of rocks of various sizes litter the floor. This rockfall looks fresh too. It and then there's a lot more of it. One doorway to the north is still clear. Doorways to the north and east are blocked by rocks. This is a very dangerous area. There's a central doorway that leads further back into the mine, as well as a doorway on the right which is completely clogged with rockfall. You see a large boulder even taller than you in the shadows nearby. You also see a table, a fire, a wheelbarrow. I'm assuming we can maybe hide behind a rock here. This is a pretty good place to conceal myself should Corvus happen to turn his head. Okay, is this like a weird thing where I need to like... Aha. Uh-oh. Oh, that's pause. Okay. Oh. Corvus ties you up. We have to get out of here. Maybe Nancy was followed. Yes, we do. Any last words, brother dearest? Not for you. Nessa takes a handful of crushed almonds from the table. Oh my goodness. She then stuffs the almonds into Evan's mouth. Cough, cough, ack. Nessa, what have you done? I should have done that a long time ago. Goodbye, Nancy. Corvus takes the lantern and follows Nessa out of the cavern. You're left in the darkness. Listen to Mr. Richards gasp his last breaths. Sorry, Mr. Richards. All you can do is wait. It feels like an eternity. And then... footsteps? I'm in here. Help. Nancy, is that you, Mr. Richards? Ranger Murdoch. I mean, obviously, we're not going to take this. We got to do something else to save Evan. Nancy, Mr. Richards is dead. Let's get you out of here. Ranger Murdoch takes out a pocket knife and saws the ropes that are binding you. Thanks. Corvus got away, and so did Nessa. I'm sorry I failed. The important thing is that you're safe. Come along. I'm sorry, Mr. Richards. Goodbye. Ranger Murdoch leads the way out of the mine. You feel incredibly relieved to be out of the mine. It feels like a great weight has been lifted off your shoulders. The automobile is parked down the hill, and there are more rangers waiting for us at the train station. How did everyone get here so quickly? Well, it wasn't quick, actually. I'm not actually a forest ranger. I'm a member of the Northwest Mounted Police. We've been on the trail of a German spy and saboteur who is rumored to be in this area. We believe he is responsible for the bombing of the bridge west of Crimson. Carl L. The man known to us as Carl Leffler. You revealed him, Nancy. Well done. Not only that, but you tipped us off to where his next target would be. The Sioux Locks. And again, as you know, Canada declared war on Germany a few weeks ago. It appears operatives directed by the German Foreign Office have undertaken a campaign here in Canada to delay the military aid to Europe by targeting transportation links such as railways, bridges, and canals. We strongly suspect that Carl L., a man who we know as Carl Leffler, is one of these operatives. He has been apprehended at the Sioux Locks while setting up explosive charges, and thanks to your impeccable detective work, Mr. Leffler will surely be brought to justice. Gee, let's go. All right, I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want more spoiled, is we'll reload the game up. There's more to do, I'm sure. But obviously, we want to make sure we save Mr. Richards. It's not an option. We must save Mr. Richards. Oh, did I not save? Is this for real? I'm really bad at saving. That's okay. We're not that far back. Oh, no, okay. We already know where to go. So we need to kill Evan for the speeds. I mean, yeah, the any percent route's probably pretty cruel. Evan's the new Sophia. So what do we have to do? Rub. Oh no, we already rubbed the diamonds. So we should be okay, right? Let me just double check that that's the case. And it's a diamond. It's the discovery of the lifetime. The red crystal is the size of a wild raspberry, and it's a diamond. Oh, it keeps going, reading it twice. Wait, whoa, what now? In fact, there are white garnets in my sample too, and red garnets. Diamonds may be the hardest known natural mineral, but they could still be pulverized in a crusher. Though they're harder than garnets, they'd occasionally jam the machines, which would explain the duds being discarded so casually on the floor. Gee. I mean, we could run this. We could grind the diamond. You crush diamond. Not that we'd want to. But, all right, it's not even letting me do it anyway. Here we go. Grinder. All right, so we know everything in here. So we know that if we go, well, first off, let's save. This is an important spot here. And we'll save this as save Evan. So if we go here, pretty good place to conceal myself should Corvus happen to turn his head. We've already kind of gone through here. You see tiny red crystals and even tinier colorless crystals incorporated into the plain rock. Rocks like these are fairly common in this area. It's not exciting, but still instructive. Take sample. Okay. What do we have in here? I thought that maybe when he was looking to the left, we try to make a break for this rock over here. While the fire is a welcome source of light, its flickering and the long shadows it casts lends an air of menace to the scene. Corvus. So we have to distract him, I guess? Corvus is keeping watch over the proceedings. You won't be able to do anything until you deal with him. Throw Garnet. You don't think that'd be a good idea. Don't we have like dust or something? Is this blasting cap still good? Oh, it's empty. Okay. It's like, how? Coarse garnets. These are most likely garnets. There are variations in shapes and size of coarsely ground garnets. Without my loop, these look like large rust-covered gravel. But with the loop, they're still small, beautiful gems. I'm trying to think if like we create a distraction. I can't even save over that one. That's annoying. We need more saves. Just kind of like want to make sure we don't have to continue to kind of go back and back. All right, so if I go that way, what is what? Oh! What was that? Just another cave-in. Stuck behind a wall of rubble. No one can hear your cries for help. Well, good thing we saved. Okay. Wait, can I like fall off the edge? Okay. That achieves, what is it? Low duck call? This is really not a good time, Nancy. Can we go back any further? Can't go back that way, the lantern is out. Push rock. The floor here seems even more cracked and dangerous. Dex, I sure hope the ground doesn't give way. Some of these rocks are the perfect size for my pockets. Take rocks. Summoning Kimmy as backup seems reasonable, right? She has an army of birds with her as well. Who needs the Mounties? Well, we've got the power of birds. You pick up a plain rock from the floor. Throw rock down hall. Throw rock. Okay, so throw plain rock. You don't think that would be a good idea? Okay, so these are just the ones that we were looking at. A relatively plain rock you acquired from the mine floor. This piece isn't particularly valuable as a sample, but every rock does tell a story. Throw plain rock at Corvus. No? Nessa. Nessa's angrily waving a document in Mr. Richards' face. Mr. Richards looks resigned to his fate. His mouth is set in an obstinate line. Throw rocket fire. Eat rock. Doesn't look appetizing. Throw rock down. Exit. You throw the plain rock down the passage. What was that? Someone coming from the middle passage? I thought I heard something, too. I'll go take a look. Oh! We know what happens when you go down that way. Corvus, what have you done? You oaf! Either Corvus is inaudible behind the pile of rubbers or unable to reply. Eek, I didn't expect that to happen. I just wanted to create a distraction. Corvus? Let's see if I can free Mr. Richards while Nessa's preoccupied. 2 against 1 sounds like better odds. Maybe we can turn the tables on her until Jack arrives with help. You'd better be digging as hard as I am, Corvus. You always mess things up. Nessa continues to paw ineffectually through the rubble, chastising Corvus. What an insane death for Corvus. Untie. Actually, look. Wheelbarrow. We haven't looked in here. Broken handle, and it's filled with huge, heavy rocks. The front brace looks intact, but this wheelbarrow is not going anywhere. Is there any situation where an immobile wheelbarrow could be useful? I wonder if there's a way to do this without killing Corvus. Take rock? Man. It's a very dangerous area. There's a central doorway. Is there any situation where an immobile wheelbarrow could be useful? That's an interesting one. Oh no! Nancy, what are you doing here, Don? Just don't know when to quit, do you? When I get over there, you'll wish you never meddled. Untie Evan, quickly. You frantically try to untie Mr. Richards' bounds, but you fail. I've got you, dearie. Nessa pulls a knife out of her skirt pocket. Nessa ties you up tightly with a length of rope and sits you down next to her brother. Nessa menacingly turns towards her brother. And now to take care of you. Okay, the almonds. I guess this is the same kind of ending here. I thought we might have gotten another death. Death by knife. Okay, so we have failed once again. We got further though. One last look. Goodbye, Miss Maple. Enjoy slowly starving to death. Actually, yeah, okay, that's the end of it. Distracted by a wheelbarrow. So we're back to it again. Ooh. Well, we got the end of chapter achievement. I did not see a single thing. Hang on. Oh. I wish you could bring up the menu in those moments. All right. We saved right here. So let's just get our little big points here. Throw rock at wheelbarrow. I'm really interested in this wheelbarrow, like... Is there any situation where and maybe this is just like a rhetorical question, like, is there, like, this is the most useless thing? But probably not. Row, rock, at doorway. I guess we'll just go right after him. And obviously we need somebody... We need something to cut him with. Do we have the wire cutters still? That's probably our best bet here. There's definitely a way to do this without killing him. Oh. Cut rope with... Oh, lag. Cut rope with... wire cutters. Little effect. Cut rope. Oh, we're in the table. Using the wire cutters, you cut the ropes that are binding Mr. Richards. I've got you, dearie. Nessa pulls a knife out of her skirt pocket. What? Now to take care of you. I thought I cut him out. What is that? I guess I have to do that quicker. It appears that when we get close to Evan, that cutscene will happen no matter what. So I guess I just need to be really, really quick. Note what the game says when trying to free Evan. Using the wire cutters, you cut the ropes that are binding Mr. Richards. Nancy. You cut the ropes that are binding Mr. Richards. I mean, I guess we have to take her knife, I guess. But, like, what the heck? I'm, like, waiting for him to bust out. Okay. Well, we'll do it again. I'm assuming I have to take her knife, then? I mean, maybe I could sit here and kind of like, I don't know. Look, rock. I'm actually just gonna save right here now. Rocks everywhere. Take knife. Look at Nessa. Trying to clear the rebel while obstructing Corvus while simultaneously scolding him for being so incautious. Gotcha. Nessa ties you up. You may have friends arriving soon, eh? I won't be lingering then. Any last words? Okay, so this is the loss again. So we can't just straight up go up to her. That's no surprise. Being able to get the message about cutting the ropes multiple times seems buggy. I mean, I guess I don't know the I don't know the actual solution yet, but it does seem a bit odd. I don't know, it's odd that I can basically, like... I don't know, I just don't really seem to have any sort of solution here. Any... I'm not finishing my sentence, 'cause I don't really know how to explain this, but like I just feel like I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not getting the result. So I'm kind of just digesting that, I think. So this is on a timer or something. And despite using the wire cutters, which never gives me a, like, you failed, it says that I did it. I guess that the wire cutters are not good enough. They look sharp. That's interesting, you know? He gestures with his head to something to the right of him. What is he trying to get me to notice? Something on the table, or maybe the lantern? Look at table. An old table was left behind the cavern. There's some crushed Jordan almonds on the tabletop. Take almonds. But spelled correctly? Maybe to get rid of the things that will kill him. That makes sense. You take the crushed Jordan almonds from the tabletop and throw them over the edge into the darkness. I won't let these end in danger Mr. Evans' life, or Mr. Richards' life. What are you doing here? You don't know when to quit, do you? Now get over here. You wish you'll never meddled. Cut rope. Please, somebody. Using the wire cutters, you cut the ropes that are binding Mr. Richards. But apparently not. Sits you down beside her brother. Okay, so I have to abandon this idea of cutting the rope. You think you saved my dear brother by throwing away the crushed Jordan almonds? You've just doomed the both of you to a slow, agonizing death. Don't need Evan's real signature to get the Crimson Lodge and its lands. It was merely a formality. A certain nosy wannabe sleuth is now tied up in a forgotten, abandoned mine. So thank you, Nancy. You are a loose end that could have caused me no end of trouble. I can forge Evan's signature easily enough. Who will the courts believe? My word with an official-looking signed document, or Nathan Cardinal's? I'm not about to wait around for any of your friends to show up. Nessa picks up the lantern and gives you and Evan one last look. Goodbye, enjoy slowly starving to death. So there's, I mean, well, the outcome that we want, we might survive this here. But the outcome we want is probably to tie Nessa up until the ranger comes through. So Nancy, you know any good jokes? Why didn't Nessa kill us with her knife? I don't know. Why didn't Nessa kill us with her knife? Mr. Richards, I'm being serious. Oh, she doesn't have a stomach for physical violence. The sight of blood makes her faint. You didn't see her threatening me with that knife, did you? Oh, she told me that while she was tying me up. Oh, right, sorry. You tell Evan that help may arrive at any time, though you have your doubts. Could Jack find you in the darkness? You'd have to wait for someone else to bring another lantern. Evan regales you with stories from Crimson back when he was a boy. You're happy for the distraction. His voice gets huskier as the hours pass. Eventually, he resorts to quietly humming snatches of old folk tunes. You join in when you know the song. It's a nice way to pass the time. Oh, do you hear that? Not us? Not us. We're here, help. Okay. I'm gonna run this back again. Now that we know... Remember how I said you missed something important in Chapter 5? Well, hopefully that doesn't spoil something. But I do remember that, yeah. Was this the solution to this puzzle, unfortunately? I'm trying to think if there's any way to... I mean, we have plenty of sharp things. Cut oneself. Cut Nancy. Cut cut Evan. There are other ways to handle this, but none perfect with what I missed, I see. So let me ask this question before I dive into this very probably long thing in my head. Is it possible for me... Yeah, I mean, so is best outcome capturing Nessa? Is this impossible in this particular state? Yes, it is impossible. Okay. Good night, Stripes. Have a good one. Okay, so I think probably the ending that I just had is the best I'm probably capable of doing. Look at Evan. Something happens. Okay, you need the light just as much as we do. No one can leave this cavern without it. She's holding it. Ransom here. Jack will be along shortly. It's over, Nessa. You. You can try getting away, but my dear little brother certainly can't. Don't come any closer. Stay where you are. You're trying to tell me what to do? How dare you? Why did you ever set foot in Crimson? Why? If it hadn't been for you, you meddling kid. Nessa is so overwrought she can barely speak. She stamps her foot angrily. You're ruining everything. Oh no. All of my planning, all that I've done, undone by you, you meddlesome slip of a girl. Nessa, be careful. Don't tell me what to do. How dare you? Nessa pulls out a knife out of her skirt pocket. You'll never leave here alive. Watch out. I said, don't tell me what to do. Oh no. Oh no. No, stop. The whole mine gives a great shudder, and part of the floor gives way. Nancy! Nessa clings desperately to the edge of a now yawning chasm, which has already swallowed her knife. Ah! Nessa. Oh, look at this punch in. Oh, this looks amazing. Worse than useless, aimless. You're vile and dull, and you'll never amount to anything. Imagine saying this to somebody as you're hanging, you're teetering off a cliff. Ah, Nessa. Note has been added to my notebook. I won't stop until Crimson is a hole in the ground, and I'm as wealthy as a sultan. I don't know. What do we do? Pick up Nessa. We're not gonna let her go as much as she might deserve it. Oh, Nessa, do be quiet for once. Nessa gasps for breath, recovering from her near-death experience. You're stronger than you look. Thanks. Wonder if I could safely secure Nessa. I need to do something before I start standing out, or else she might run off. Safely secure Nessa, huh? Let's make a save here. Save Nessa. Is there anything else that... I mean, is this maybe the part where the wheelbarrow comes in, perhaps? Appears that the cave-ins that have been rocking the mine have created some deep chasms. Sure. It's a very dangerous area. You see a large boulder, even taller than you. Nessa is trying to collect herself after her near-death experience. She's catching her breath and looks like she'll be standing up at any moment. I don't know what to do here. I need to quickly figure out how to stop Nessa from getting away before I stand up. Not sure if I can. There was something back at the lodge. Oh, maybe this is impossible then. Something back at the lodge. Although that was what the trowel was as well, right? Need to seduce Corvus in Act 5. That would be an insane twist. There's a broken handle and is filled with huge, heavy rocks. Front brace looks intact. The wheelbarrow is not going anywhere. Can't be moved. It only has one handle. I couldn't even lift a single one of those rocks either. Nessa, are you okay? Pant, gasp. Set Nessa on fire. Can't afford to be distracted by conversation right now. This is the time to act. I have to figure out a way to prevent Nessa from getting away. Okay, so we've saved, yes? Load game. So what happens if I stand up? Make a move to get up, but Nessa beats you to it. Your legs are still a bit shaky. As Nessa steps over you, she glances over at you and mutters something. You can't discern what she says. I'm not waiting around here for your friends. I'm taking this lantern and I'm leaving. Good, never come back. Okay. Maybe, you start moving to follow Nessa, but Mr. Richards calls out to you. Let her go, Nancy. Don't leave me here alone. Okay, I won't. Eek, do you think that cave-in got her? It doesn't matter. We're safe for now. Right. You managed to untie Mr. Richards now that you have all the time in the world. Thanks, Nancy. You and Mr. Richards wait quietly in the cavern. You're too spent to think of anything much to say. The only light now is the fire, and there's no way to bring it along with you. There isn't anything here to fashion an improvised torch either. Okay, so this kind of goes down the same path. Hang on. Try one other thing. If it truly is only one thing and I can't do it, that would be a real bummer, but if I can get the lantern, throw dust in Nessa's face. Pick Nessa. Oh, look at this. Look at that glitch. The floor here seems even more cracked and dangerous. Yikes, I hope the ground doesn't give way. Some of these rocks are the perfect size for my pocket. Take rocks. Take rock. Oh, look at that. Cool. Cut rope. Not close enough. It's like they're smooching. Call for help. Get rocks. That wouldn't help right now. No time for sitting around, Nancy. Blow duck call. Really not a good time. Ask about death. Oh, well, there's definitely some questions you'd like to ask Nessa. Nessa, now is not the time. I don't think it's a good idea to draw attention to myself right now. Your brain is bursting with questions, but now isn't the time to ask them. This is not a good time to be asking questions. Actions are required. Holy cow. It's really, really playing. I think it gave me every single possible prompt to not do it. Technically, I could prevent her from escaping. I assume by having her go down the hole that I'm now hovering over. I guess we'll just stand up. We'll take this one. I'm already standing up. That's it. Am I soft locked? Can't sit. Can't stand. I can't. Can I move? Maybe I can move. I lack the materials to make a torch, and simply carrying around a flaming log is out of the question. Get handle. Exit. Help Nessa. Trap Nessa. I get the, oh yeah. Look table, right? Get almonds. Now isn't the time for that. There are more pressing matters at hand. Cut rope. I want to see if I can break out of this somehow. We tried the lantern, right? Yeah. All right, I think I'm stuck. That's funny. There's a, like, this is something that I've run into a few times on my playthrough, which is like, so yeah, but all we would need to do here is what was it? Get rock, whatever it was. I don't know. That's funny. Get lantern. Boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. Stand up. Legs are a bit shaky. All right, so I think this is pretty much the best we're going to get here, which is fine. As Nessa steps over you, she glances. Oh yeah, we've already talked about this. We'll zip up to where we left off before. I just assumed this facial expression here was that like Nancy's in a little bit of pain. Or don't save her, yeah. I also didn't want to kill Corvus either. It appears that well, the Nancy Maple body count did go up to 1 in this one. There we go. You and Mr. Richards wait quietly in the cavern. You're too spent to think of anything much to say. The only light now is the fire. You have no way to bring it along with you. There isn't anything here to fashion an improvised torch either. All you can do is wait and hope. Sometimes the cavern shakes and quakes, and you wonder if you'll die without even knowing it. Eventually, you hear voices and footfalls. We're in here, help. Nancy, is that you, Mr. Richards? Ranger Murdoch. Nancy. Oh, Corvus is trapped behind the rubble in the middle passageway. We should probably get him out. Is he trapped? He's trapped, all right. Working together, you eventually clear the rubble and free Corvus. Oh. Oh, we perished back there. Good for Corvus. He's a bit worse for wear, but only has minor injuries. Ranger Murdoch cuffs Corvus just in case. Good call. Did you see Nessa leaving or pinned under rubble? No, not at all. I didn't hear anything either. Could be that she's trapped somewhere in the mine. There's no way of knowing. Or she could have gotten away. I can't think of what you'd prefer, actually. Let's get out of here. Good idea. Deep regret of not pushing Nessa down. No other way to prevent her from running away if you save her. Okay. It's just the item, I guess, that I missed. Ranger Murdoch leads the way out of the mine. You feel incredibly relieved to be out of the mine. It feels like a great weight has been lifted off your shoulders. Look at this, we got a crew now. The automobile is parked down the hill. There are more rangers waiting for us at the train station. How did everyone get here so quickly? All right, we've gone through this. Well, it wasn't quick, actually. I'm not actually a forest ranger. I'm a member of the Northwest Mounted Police. We've been on the trail of a German spy and saboteur that was rumored to be in the area. We believe is responsible for the bombing of the west of Crimson. We've gone through this. Albert Respa. We're going to jump ahead. We've already gone through this earlier. He's been apprehended. Thanks to your impeccable detective work, Mr. Leffler will surely be brought to justice. Gee, let's go. All right, here we go. All new stuff here. Good video game so far. Crimson. Oh, we're back at the train station. Chapter 7. Conclusions. Yeah, exactly. I think this is good considering, right? If we missed something, we missed something, but did our best. The train station is a flurry of activity. Rangers are milling all about, consulting with each other in whispered conversations. Inside, you can hear the non-stop whir and tick of the telegraph machine. The ranger in charge looks up and acknowledges Ranger Murdoch with a nod. Just the man I wanted to see. Thanks to the intelligence you provided, we were able to alert authorities in Sault Ste. Marie about the impending sabotage attempt on Sue Locks. They were ready and waiting, and caught the man red-handed with luggage full of dynamite and blasting caps, not to mention a 9mm Luger in the glove box. Imagine his surprise when they called him by his real name, Karl Leffler, aka Albert Respa, German spy and saboteur. I would have loved to have seen the look on his face. All in all, some mighty fine work, Ranger Murdoch. A crisis has been averted. As much as I'd like to take credit for it, Nancy Maple here is the one you ought to be thanking. She single-handedly figured it out. All I did was pass along the information. Well then, my thanks to you, Nancy Maple. You're a Canadian hero. Oh, thanks. Though I'll warn you, you might be an unsung hero at that. Might have to be an unsung hero at that. I have a feeling that the Canadian government won't want to reveal how vulnerable we were tonight. It could undermine the public's confidence at a crucial turning point for our country. Oh, I don't mind at all, as long as things worked out for the best. Oh, nice. They did, Nancy. Truly, thank you for your service. Now, what have you got here? I've just come from the old abandoned garnet. Mr. Richards here was kidnapped by his sister, but these folks were able to rescue him. Fortunately, we managed to stop things from going too far, but the sister Nessa Crab is missing. We did arrest her accomplice, Mr. Corvus Shaw. They're also suspected of the murder of a young woman. I had nothing to do with that. Well, we'll see, won't we? I'm confident we'll apprehend Mrs. Crab. The charges against her are serious. We'll use every resource at our disposal. Roger. A busy night. Yes, indeed. Please dispatch some crime scene investigators to the lodge so we can build a strong case. Roger that. Heading back down to Toronto now. I need to meet with some higher-ups immediately. The Northwest Mounted Police has commandeered a train back to the city. I've been told you call Toronto home, Miss Maple. Will you join me? I'm exhausted. I don't think I'm up for any traveling tonight, and I'm not ready to leave Crimson just yet. Suit yourself, and I would have gotten the heck out of here, but fair enough. I'll need to take your statement for the report. That can wait a day or two. Thank you. I'll need a bit of time to get my thoughts in order. Of course. There's going to be a ton of paperwork to do for this whole caper. I'll be trapped behind a desk for weeks. Do send word when you'll be returning. I'll pick you up from the Union Station and escort you directly to the police station. Will do. Thanks, Ranger Murdoch. Nathan drives you, Jack, and Evan back to the lodge. Margot's death feels like it happened weeks ago. And on the stream, it kind of did. And your arrival in Crimson feels like it happened months ago. Feels like years ago when you spoke to your boss, Professor Plummer. Oh, my boss, my field work. What am I going to tell him? Despite the excitement of the evening, you find yourself nodding off, only to be jolted awake when Nathan's automobile hits an uneven stretch of road. Eventually, not even the bumpy road can rouse you. Nancy, you awake? We're back. We are snoozing. Once Jack has roused you from your deep slumber, you make your way upstairs, quietly as possible, lest you wake Kimmy, who has slept through all of this. My goodness, what a night. I've never been so exhausted. You climb into bed and are eager to fall asleep. But as your gaze falls onto the ransacked curio cabinet, you realize there are a few things you may want to bring up with the other inhabitants of the lodge tomorrow morning. I better make some new notes on fresh paper to remind myself, or I could just decide to go to sleep if I wish. Oh, is this... I don't have to do anything here, right? This is just... Did Margot have an accomplice in the Ruby Brooch theft? Yes. It was Jack, right? Skip for next question. I can type. Oh. Enter? That was a yes or no question. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Sorry, Nancy. Yes. Yes, I suspect someone helped Margot hide the Ruby Brooch effectively. Who was the accomplice for the... Okay, now we type in Jack. Certain of that, Jack admitted to helping Margot hide the brooch. His fingerprint was on it, clear as day. I found the brooch in the walk-in closet pinned under her hat. After Nessa and Corvus had already thoroughly searched there, including the hats. Margot was already dead by then. Jack hid the brooch there after Nessa and Corvus were finished searching that room. He admitted as much to me when I confronted him about finding his fingerprints. Now, about that curio cabinet. Who stole the antique silver steins? That was Margot, I believe. That was the only one that I lifted from the smashed curio cabinet. Plus, she admitted to taking the antique silver wedding steins. Pretty clear cut. But she mentioned having help. Who helped with the steins? Jack was a... Oh, no. That was Nat. Because he hid him away, I think. Nathan admitted to helping Margot hide the antique silver wedding stems. Yeah, that is a weird note, Summer. You're right. You are right. That was like her dying thing that she said was like, it's in my walk-in closet, ugh, and then died. Very interesting. Who was the imposter at Crimson Lodge? Well, Albert was, technically, not his real name, Carl. His geology and mineralogy books look brand new because he'd never once consulted them. They were part of his disguise. That explains why he was examining that glacial erratic. He had no idea that it wouldn't be a good indicator of geology in the area. The report Albert wrote for Nessa demonstrated no knowledge of proper field report procedures nor appropriate use of mineralogical terminology. He was definitely not a mineralogical expert. I wonder if he was even Belgian. Turns out he wasn't, right? What was Kimmy's true goal? Birds. It was birds. I love that. After everything I've witnessed, I'm pretty certain... I mean, maybe there's something I missed with it, but I love that the answer is currently birds. After everything I've witnessed, I'm pretty certain that Kimmy is just a keen bird watcher who probably had the worst vacation of her life. Everything and anything can look suspicious if you're looking for suspicious activity. Were Evan Richards and Nathan Cardinal friends or enemies? Friends. Their conversation in the conservatory indicates that they're similarly aligned when it comes to the fate of the lodge and the lands. They also met up in the study after that first dinner. Hard to tell if they were friendly then, but I did see them shake hands. They respect each other. Margot entrusted the antique silver wedding steins to Nathan. She trusted him, and Nathan was risking Nessa coming after him for those valuable antiques. Nathan was out late at night with Jack. They were both helping Mr. Richards. I heard them talking about that. Judging by the conversation I overheard in the carriage house, Nathan, Jack, and Mr. Richards were working together to deal with Albert. Nathan and Albert had a clandestine meeting in the boathouse. Nathan had paid Albert for a mineralogical report that concluded the lodge and the lands didn't contain diamonds. Nathan wasn't concerned about the truth, he just wanted to protect Crimson from becoming a mining town again. Nathan helped me and Jack rescue Mr. Richards tonight. He risked losing his Indian status by revealing himself to Ranger Murdoch. After having snuck off the reservation, he's a true friend. Mr. Richards is lucky to have him. What were Jack and Nathan trying to conceal? What is the answer to this question? What were Jack and Nathan trying to conceal? I guess like they were trying to... I mean, I guess it depends on in what way. So both of them assisted Margot in different ways with hiding, their heirlooms or whatever. They were also trying to... No. They were after Albert. How do I write that into a text parser? Diamonds? I guess? It is possible after all. But so far it's only a hunch based on samples I've gathered. I'll need to verify my hypothesis when they get back to the museum. They want to keep it quiet, that makes sense. I did see Nathan and Jack gathering something shiny from the riverbank. The irony is, Nathan and Jack were trying to conceal just the colorless stone, not the red ones. No one figured that some of the red garnets could actually be diamonds, because no one knew crimson diamonds could exist. Red diamonds are a far more spectacular discovery, and they were there the whole time under everyone's noses. Where did Jack conceal the suspected diamonds? Smoke house, right? I wish I had found some solid evidence that Jack had hidden diamonds in the smokehouse. Oh, crud. Okay, well, I think that is where they were, right? We heard that. Were Margot and Jack having an affair? No. No, he was just administering the medicine. Quite sure Margot and Jack were just friends. He explained the meaning of their secretive boudoir meeting. He was helping inject her medicine. Jack was a good friend to Margot and nothing more. He told me so, and I believe him. What's more, the evidence I found backs him up. I found his fingerprints in Margot's medicine kit. What item suggests Nessa came to the lodge intending to threaten or harm Evan? Well, the will, right? I'm not sure that I got that right. But that's my best guess. I mean, the Jordan almonds? All of these things all came with bad will. Wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and ravenous. As you make your way upstairs, down the upstairs hallway, you begin to smell the inviting aromas of coffee and bacon. You enter the kitchen, find the other inhabitants gathered around the table digging into a hearty breakfast. You join in. Morning light is streaming through the small window, causing motes of dust to sparkle and dance in the light. Mr. Richards is slumped in front of his plate, eyes downcast. Jack, you've already admitted to helping Margot hide Nessa's ruby brooch. Sure did. You said before that you and Margot planned to sell the brooch to help pay for the lodge's upkeep. Yeah, she was trying to lay claim to the whole place, but she never lifted a finger to take care of it, nor sent a dime. You also said because of the state of things, you didn't see the point of executing that plan. I think you should. What do you think, Mr. Richards? Sounds good to me. That would be a nice thing for Nessa to indirectly do. She certainly wouldn't intentionally do anything good for anyone else. You hand the ruby brooch over to Jack. Thanks, Nancy. Ha! Maybe I can get a new mop. You mentioned that Nessa had it out for Margot, and this was Margot's way of getting back at her. Yeah, but I figured it was because Nessa was afraid Mr. Richards would bequeath the lodge and lands to Margot instead. Oh, she sure was. Nessa was dead set on making Margot go away, so the lodge and lands wouldn't end up with her. Which they never were, of course. I promised all that to Nathan and his family, always and forever. Margot understood. Bequeath. I will admit to worrying about the fate of the lodge and lands from time to time. But once I learned how much Margot loved it here too, just as it is, I worried less. But when that fisherman found that diamond, yeah, there was trouble. Nessa arrived and she recognized Margot's face from some old wanted posters. In a past life, Margot lived and worked up in Skagway during the Klondike Gold Rush. She was just a kid. She made some mistakes, trusted the wrong people, but she told me all that. So it didn't work when Nessa tried to blackmail her into leaving Crimson. Nessa found another way to get the better of her. Evan's face falls and clamps his mouth shut. Her secrets? You mean like in her boudoir on the first night you arrived? Yes, I know we've already discussed that. You said both of you were just friends, and I believe you. Yeah, Jack helped Margot with her Salvarsan treatments. You knew about that? Sure did. Jack helped her with that every night. I couldn't. Too squeamish. The injections were very painful for her. I just couldn't stand to do them. Well, that makes me feel much better about them. Margot knew that Nessa and Corvus would rummage through her things. Vanity was a lock. Has a lock, but she suspected that it wasn't secure. In fact, she suspected it had already been tampered with effectively. I kept the brooch in my pocket for a bit, but then we were fixing to head to the Garnet Mine. I didn't want to bring it with me, so I nipped upstairs to her giant closet and pinned it to the underside of her hats, up on one of those mannequin heads. Well, there you go. That's, yeah, a little plot hole. I figured, should Nessa and Corvus return to the lodge, that's the last place they'd look up somewhere that they already searched. How they have enough doses? Good question. Kimmy, I'm sorry that your birding trip was full of so much drama and tension. I'm very glad I got to meet you. Thanks so much, Nancy. That's very kind of you. Yes, this was one of the strangest trips I've ever taken. So much unpleasantness and tragedy. I don't regret coming here. Crimson's a beautiful place. Margot was very kind. Jack and Nathan really helped me feel at home here, despite everything. And you, Mr. Richards. Yeah? I can see why you love Crimson so much. I love it too. Oh, that's real nice. Thanks, Kimmy. And Nancy, I'm very glad I got to meet you too. You're one of a kind. Brave and clever. No matter what happens, I'm sure you'll make your dreams come true. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I'll try my best. Nathan, I have to know. Yes? About the set of silver wedding steins. I'm still keeping them in my home until Nessa has been apprehended. If she's out in the wilderness somewhere, this is the closest shelter. It's possible she will return here. Oh no! The Rangers will be arriving later today to untangle everything that's happened over the last couple of days. If she comes back here, they'll be ready for her. I really appreciate Nathan keeping him safe for me. Don't worry, he told me all about what Margot did. And they're right about me. I would have just given him to Nessa to make her stop harassing me. Story of my life. Never again. I was in the boathouse when you had your meeting with Albert. You were? Where? In one of the canoes, but never mind that. I saw and heard you buy a phony mineralogical report from Albert. I feel like you had Mr. Richards' best interest in mind, but could you please explain that to me? Of course, I did that because I had Mr. Richards' best interest in mind, and mine as well. What's this all about? I didn't want to trouble you, Evan. Yes, I did pay Albert to write a mineralogical report that stated that there were no more diamonds in the land around the lodge. That would make the land worthless to Nessa, and she would stop bothering Evan and go home. Albert seemed to be not who he said he was. I've met mineralogists before, and he was no mineralogist. I had a funny feeling about him, too. He was perfectly willing to prepare the document to say exactly what I wanted for a price. I still have it with Albert's signature and official seal. With Evan's permission, I plan on mailing it to the federal government, that we can be free of these troubles once and for all. Yeah, let's do it. You weren't the only one who paid Albert to prepare a false mineralogical report, Nathan. What? Nessa and Albert met in the gazebo early last night. I saw Nessa hand him a manila envelope. Albert told her its contents would make her rich beyond her wildest dreams. I found the original mineralogical report that she'd paid it for in Corvus's satchel. I read it and said that there are diamonds on this land. You wouldn't happen to have that version of the report, would you? Actually, I do. Good one, Nancy. Albert was clearly a fraud looking to make some money by producing false reports that can never be considered official. I'm due to meet with the Ranger Murdoch down in Toronto to be interviewed about everything that's happened. I'll be submitting this report as part of the evidence against Albert. I'll be writing my own field report about Crimson. Considering the circumstances and my methodical work, I think the government would be keen to accept my findings. I have to know, are there diamonds here in Crimson? Mr. Richards, Nathan, and Jack exchange meaningful looks. Obviously, we know that there's at least one because we have one in our possession. Go on. I think you and Jack were picking alluvial diamonds out of the riverbank when I saw the two of you last night. Nancy, there are diamonds in Crimson. We have to check the riverbanks regularly for the ones that come down the river. Over time, we've managed to extract most of the gems that are in the ground, but soil erosion also reveals them. Every so often, we gotta go looking for more than that have appeared. They're the easiest to see by moonlight. Evan used to help us. In fact, he used to do it all by himself. Yeah, but I wore my back down, so it's up to Jack and Nat now. Fortunately for us, not many people were around. It was a difficult secret to keep, even then. Yeah, until that fish swallowed up the whopper of a diamond, and that lucky duck fisherman caught it. Nothing but trouble that was. My goodness, I see. There's one last thing I want to know. Red diamonds aren't known to exist anywhere in the world. I think there are red diamonds here in Crimson. Am I right? Silence. Yes, Nancy, we know. Back in the day, these were just assumed to be garnets. No one really thought to look any closer. Because as you say, everyone knows that red diamonds don't exist. Wow, I'm speechless. You know what this means? It could be one of the most significant mineralogical finds of all time. It would help put Crimson on the map. Yeah, that's what we're afraid of. Oh, yes, I see. Nancy, we know that your field work is very important to you, and we certainly can't prevent you from divulging anything that you may have discovered here. We can only ask you to think about what that news could mean for Crimson. We like it how it is now. Yeah, I do too, says Kimmy. Me too, and so did Margot. What'll happen now? That'll partially depend on you, Nancy. You pile into Nathan's automobile, except for Mr. Richards, as there isn't enough room for the four-seater for him. You sense he'd like some time alone anyway. He gives you and Kimmy a nod and then turns away. As the automobile trundles away from the lodge, you crane your neck and take one last look. I'm really gonna miss this place in spite of everything. You turn and face forward. The rattling of the rough road makes it very hard to think. The only coherent thought you manage to have is, what will you tell your boss? What could that mean for your future? Thank goodness the bridge has been repaired enough to allow trains to cross it again. Repaired enough? You are traveling light, Nancy. I wouldn't be too concerned. Okay, Nancy, train's gonna leave soon. Be well. Oh, but what about you, Kimmy? I've talked it over with Evan, Jack, and Nathan. I'm gonna stay for a little longer. It's been so tense here, I want to relax, actually enjoy the birds, and the fall migration is starting in a few weeks. And the leaves will be changing color. I've promised Jack that I'll help with the lodge chores and I'll earn my keep. Oh, that's wonderful news. I wish I could stay longer too, but I've got to get back to my job in the city. Good luck, Nancy. I'm going to miss you. Miss you too, Kimmy. Be well. I'll miss all of you. Thanks for letting me stay with you, and please thank Mr. Richards too. We'll let him know. You're made of pretty tough stuff, Nancy. Jack's been telling me how brave you were down in the mine. We're grateful for all that you've done here. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now go on. Train's not going to wait forever, right? All right. We've got to be at the end of the game here. You stare out the train window. It's a clear, cool morning. As crisp as refreshing as it is this far north, you brace yourself for the muggy summer heat down by Toronto. Mind is buzzing with all that has transpired over the last few days. It feels like you're returning home from a long voyage. Can't help but wonder, did you miss anything? Did you leave out any loose ends? Would you like to be privy to some helpful introspective thoughts? Yes or no? Or do I need to say yes or no? Sure. Lay it on me. You ponder the thoughts you had the previous night before bed. I collected some rock salt from the bag in the smokehouse. Is there something more than just salt in this? Can't think of much else, actually. Oh, that was it. Interesting. Oh, so maybe I could have done like a plate, a rub, if you will. You turn your attention towards the impending interview with Major Ranger Murdoch. You feel like you've investigated Margot's murder to the best of your ability. The area between the jetty and the smokehouse probably could have used further scrutiny. Okay. After a good deal of mulling over, you conclude, actually, I'm satisfied with all I've done. I am, thank goodness. That's my WhatsApp. Having reassured yourself, you fall quickly into a deep, dreamless sleep. You don't awaken until the train pulls into Union Station. No luggage to steal this time. Ranger Murdoch meets you at Union Station as arranged. Ranger Murdoch. Hello, Nancy. It's good to see you again. Would you like me to drive you home to rest? No, thanks. I'm eager to have my interview. Let's go. All right, follow me. That's a pretty good review. If we just missed that one detail, generally speaking, that's all right. Click over the wanted posters and see a familiar face. Face has familiar features, but the expression gives you pause. It's unmistakably Margot, but she looks scared and angry. The name is different too. The Margot you knew was at peace and caring. You feel fortunate to have met her when you did. The poster lists her offenses as assault, theft, racketeering, public nuisance. Nancy? Oh, sorry, just lost in thought. And yes, the person who has been on the most, that person has been on the most wanted list for a few years now. Skagway was a near lawless place. Sometimes who the criminals were was a matter of public opinion. And sometimes you didn't make friends with the right people. You can get struck with all kinds of sort of trumped up charges. Does she look familiar to you? No, I don't recognize her. Very well, let's begin. If you trowel Evan, should be dead. Oh, interesting. Much more thorough than your first play. I did like take... The thing is, I think all of this is contained within like chapter 4 and 5. It's like the big important ones. Suddenly the door bursts open to reveal your boss, Professor Plummer. Nancy, there you are. Welcome back. I've heard the train has come in. Sir, we're in the middle of a confidential interview. Oh, my apologies. I won't be a moment. Nancy, what did you find? Are there diamonds in crimson? I must know. Yes or no? I don't know what to answer here. We'll do the right thing, and we'll say no. I'll protect the people. Afraid I didn't find anything significant, Professor. I managed to obtain some good samples, though, and I think we'll be able to produce a good report for my fieldwork. It just won't be very exciting. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it, Nancy. As for exciting, most researchers, and don't worry too much about that. Come see me when you're ready, and I'll help you with your report. Well, thank you so much, Professor Plummer. Take care, Nancy. See you soon. Zips right out. Okay, now let's really begin. Any information you provide will be kept strictly confidential, of course. Thank you, I appreciate it. Nessa Crab is wanted in connection with Evan Richards' kidnapping, Margot's murder, and attempted fraud. According to Mr. Richards, he was assaulted at the jetty, but it was dark out and he was rather inebriated. Do you have any evidence connecting Nessa to the scene, to the jetty, yes or no? Yes, I do. What evidence did you find? If there's multiple points to make, we'll discuss them separately. One word answers will suffice. Hair. What? I guess fingerprints is one. Found Nessa's fingerprint on a shattered crystal decanter at the jetty. It was made of thick glass. It wouldn't have broken from being tipped or dropped. I think Nessa had confrontation with with Evan on the jetty, during which he forcefully threw the decanter down, causing it to break. Well done, Nancy. Our investigators found that broken decanter and came to a similar conclusion. Did you find anything in the areas besides the jetty that would connect Nessa to Evan's kidnapping, yes or no? Hair. It's hair. I recovered these hairs from the woods north of the jetty. Pretty confident these belong to Nessa. You hand the hair to Murdoch. Wow, our investigators didn't find any hairs because we took all of them. We'll send somebody over to take a look. The bulbs in these hairs are intact. That means they needed to be ripped out from the scalp with some force. That definitely implies she was part of a struggle. I'm gonna keep these hairs, Nancy. Of course. Do you have anything else to share that would connect Nessa's kidnapping? Do we have, like, footprints? Yeah. It's to the smokehouse, which is where he was detained. Anything else to share? Can I look at my oh, actually, yeah. Is there anything else that we can do here? It's tough to remember. Like the symbol? Can we talk about the symbol? Like this little pensive tune here. River sample, duck call. I mean, like, there's just, like, scuffles, ground. I have at least one thing. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. The discarded jar obviously is important, but not for this particular question. Oh, the metal button. Okay, the button doesn't work. I spelled that right. Okay, I guess that's Corvus. It has to be up here, I guess. Almond fragments. Found these Jordan almond fragments on the table. I managed to recover Nessa's fingerprint from one of the candied shells. Totally forgot about that. This is fantastic, Nancy. You've placed Nessa at the smokehouse. May I have those? Sure. I think that's all the information I have about Nessa. Okay, let's move on. You believe that Mr. Richards was being held in the lodge's smokehouse sometime before being moved to the Garnet Mine. Did you find the evidence to support the theory regarding his unlawful confinement? Yes or no? Yes. What evidence did we find? Almonds again, right? Symbol. Can we do the symbol now? Jelly. Footprint. What? Yeah, I need to get some sleep as well. It's extremely late. I should have ended this stream a long time ago. Not because it wasn't fun, but because I needed sleep. Do you find any other possible evidence to support our theory regarding Evan's unlawful confinement? Scuffle. Shoes. I don't know what to write here. If I recall, can we save here? Can save. Okay, this is kind of nice. I'm gonna delete that one. Questioning. I think we're like right at the end, but I think... Is it insane for me to go to bed and do the rest of these questions on Tuesday? Because I feel like I want to like review like what's going on. Because if I go in here, because I feel like I'm almost tired and I'm like can't even think of the right things here right now. And I can maybe go back and be like, what was actually in here? Because I can't really remember. Because this is the one thing... I probably had all the answers I was looking for, but... Crumbs. Is crumbs the answer then? Cookie. Yeah. All right, we've saved. I'm gonna call it here. We're gonna do a nice quick, probably finish up of this game on Tuesday. Next stream is on Sunday for Spin Sunday, and so we'll probably finish up Crimson Diamond on Tuesday, and then assuming that this is right at the end, we'll then jump into Blackwell and go from there. That will be planned for then. Hopefully that's understandable. I do need to get some sleep, and yeah, I want to make sure I've reviewed my details